Hey friends, how's it going? Jim Gale here. I'm a little winded. I just got done with a little workout. I want to show you something. This has been on my mind for actually years. In Costa Rica, I created a community where I planted thousands of fruit trees and created edible landscapes throughout. And guess what, folks? That was starting about 7 or 8 years ago. You should see how lush it is now. 8 years later, there's so much fruit, about 98 varieties of fruit, herbs, and medicinal plants were planted on the property. When you include some of the variations of them, over 150 varieties of food planted on the property. There's fruit trees that are so weighed down with fruit that they're breaking branches right now. Now, imagine this. This is a park, right? Imagine this. Why aren't there strawberries and raspberries and blueberries, perennials? Why aren't there papaya and moringa? If you don't know about moringa, man, this stuff is like gold. And all sorts. You could have literally 100 types of food planted right here. Now, some of the people, I've heard different reasons why that's a bad idea, right? One person, because I was going to do this in a public park in Costa Rica. And you know what they said? It would attract homeless people or bums or vagrants. That's just the stupidest thing in the world. Oh, but, okay, let's say that you believe that that might be true. Then let's start planting in areas where there are already homeless people. Because guess what homeless people eat? Homeless people food. You know, some shelters are good enough to provide food for them, and that's awesome. But what would happen if homeless people, instead of eating trash, what if they started eating nutritious foods? Do you think they'd become healthier? Do you think their brains would start working better and they'd be maybe more functional? Yes, they would. Absolutely. What about right here? Now this area here, you know, okay, there's a park. I don't know, maybe some people say that's for throwing footballs and stuff. Great, we need places to throw footballs. What about right here? This is lawn. Grass is the most destructive crop in the United States and around the world. The most destructive. It is a complete waste of space unless you want some place to lay out and get your feet in the grass. That's awesome, that's beautiful. But everywhere is horrible. You know what they maintain it with? Poisons, right? So what if right here you had a lineup of all those different fruits and medicinals and herbs and spices, lavender, moringa, thyme and sage, and all these things that are almost no maintenance. In fact, if you companion plant, they're literally no maintenance. They take care of themselves. People can come by on a walking path. Can you imagine walking here and picking all these different kinds of fruits all the time? And even there's a lot of veggies that are perennials. There's a lot of things that are so easy to do. Folks, we got some big stuff coming, and this is my job, my mission in life is to create and to catalyze a trend shift that will inspire us at the grassroots, at the individual level and the family level, to start planting our own food again. And start by, instead of spending the money on lawn maintenance, why don't we spend the money? You know how cheap it is to plant papaya trees? It's actually free. Avocado trees, if you just save the seeds, you've got a papaya tree. So literally it might take, in fact, I was listening to Bill Mollison the other day. He says it takes 40 minutes, or he actually said 30 minutes, to teach somebody how to plant food. 40 minutes later, they could have 6 months worth of food, just from that much time and energy. Now, how long does it take to plant a papaya tree, a moringa tree, and all this stuff? Moringa, you cut it at a 45-degree angle, you stick it in the ground. That's it. You take one of the branches, you do that, and, you know, that's nuts, folks. That's what we got to do. All right, so I'm still a little winded. Love y'all. Hope you're doing great. Like and share this, please, and comment, because this is the trend that has to happen, that wipes out the biggest worry that some people have in the world. And not just some people have, but they're experiencing. When the Russians pull out of Cuba, when the money went bye-bye, they starved. Now Cuba's become one of the most sustainable countries in the world. How? By taking individual responsibility. You know, Venezuela, it's happening right now. People are starving. They're collecting water and they're starting to grow food again. They didn't for decades and generations because somebody else was taking care of that. Well, let's do the most obvious and common sense thing, and let's start planting food in public spaces. And this means we have to get the government to allow us to. Yeah, of course, plant it on your private lawn, for sure. But then we got to start putting it in public spaces. All right, so my rant for today. Love ya. Have a great day. Ciao. How do I turn this off?